Hello, welcome back to another guide. Today we're back with a crypto video. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Today we're going to be looking over the reasons why the next 30 days in Pulsechain will be huge. Okay, this is not financial advice, but we're going to be covering the latest news and what's been trending and what's to look forward to in Pulsechain. Okay, we're going to start with a couple tweets that I have to highlight as well, and the kind of greatest movers right now happening in Pulsechain and kind of the motives happening in Pulsechain, and we will cover that ERC 404 that everyone has been kind of talking about. Pretty interesting stuff, honestly. And a new 414 token that is been performing as well. Okay, this is after BFF. So keep an eye. You want to watch the whole video. Make sure to like, comment, and let me know what you think of these videos if you really enjoy it. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to start with this tweet from Richard Hart himself, reminding us that Ethereum was launched in the bear market. Okay, Hex was launched in the bear market, and they both did a 10,000x. Okay, and guess where? Where did we start? In the middle of the bear market. So there's a lot of upside to this. And guess what? Okay, tell me what is the potential returns from this point or from 6 months ago when you compare it with Ethereum to Pulsechain. Ethereum can, okay, we're going to assume it's going to do like a 5 to 10x. Okay, anything above that is going to be really, really hard. Really hard. Actually, even a 10x with Ethereum is actually really hard. Okay, so I think tops we could expect it to do a 5x in the next couple, few or even handful of years. Okay, but when you think of Pulsechain, the newer, the one with the biggest potential, because it's new, ladies and gentlemen, newer opportunity. This is why Pulsechain is great. It's a great time for you to be watching this video right now as well. Keep that in mind. Okay, and we're not saying that Pulsechain is going to flip Ethereum. No. What I'm saying though, Pulsechain can move all the way up, flip Solana, flip all the other ones where it's under Binance. Okay, because I believe it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, and I think honestly Pulsechain could secure in the next years that number 4 spot. Hey gentlemen, I want to hear your thoughts. Okay, before we get to that, we got a tweet from Moon King Beirut, the only guy in crypto that told you Pulsechain. He kind of just talks about Pulsechain is definitely booming. Okay, and he kind of indicates this reverse head and shoulder pattern. Okay, he kind of created these visualizations, and then obviously you guys already know this is what happens. This is the neckline, right? And usually it's an uptrend after that, which is kind of already moving to that. When you look at the today, if you look at the bubbles, everything is green in Pulsechain. If we look at Richard Hart's ecosystem, this is the list that I made. Everything is green right now. Okay, Hex on Ethereum went up to 11%, which is a lot of money, by the way, because if you look at that volume, okay, yeah, this is probably the past 24, but is a lot. 11% is actually pretty decent. And then you see all the other tokens are, moving up as well. And this is not talking about the actual, everything else in Pulsechain, which I'm going to get to, which is the new 414 token. Okay, we will get to that in a second, and everything else, the kind of bullish narratives. So if we move on to the next tweet, we got a lot of new onboarding, because that's the reason kind of why Pulsechain has kind of been booming the past few days. There's a nice pump, and that's why I see the next 30 days going to be even more of this. Okay, we're going to have more onboarding, and that means other influencers such as Mike the Investor, he now joined on board, started making videos, started making tweets about Pulsechain. He's bullish on Pulsechain himself. He knows Teddy Bear is the greatest meme coin to be in. Okay, not financial advice. So that's great. It brings a lot of eyes. That's the difference between Ethereum and Pulsechain, is that Pulsechain is not mainstream yet. Okay, if it might think it is to us, because our Twitter timelines are filled with Pulsechain, because we 90% of who I'm following is to do with Pulsechain ecosystem people, right? But it actually is not, when you really think about it, ladies and gentlemen. When you really think about it, the views of Pulsechain videos and stuff like that, you might think, okay, they're kind of like a lot. But when you compare it to other tokens like CRO and whatever, they get like 10k views, etc. You have to keep in mind that we are not in, it's still a small world that's still growing. Pulsechain has so much more to grow. Okay, which is really crazy. It's such a great time to be in crypto overall as well in this time, just before the bull run. Okay, the bull run obviously is expected to kickstart or even start by the time the Bitcoin halving is going to happen, which is roughly going to be in that April time, right? So yeah, it's going to be really interesting stuff happening. Okay, but looking on to the next thing, obviously I'm going to cover this gophers, basically good old-fashioned unsecured something, good old-fashioned, I forgot the full name, but basically this is a kind of a unique thing. They bridged it to Ethereum, they bridged it to Pulsechain. It's a kind of token that bridges, and they call it ERC404, and it's nothing official. It's not a real, the name 404, I think that's just what they call it, right? But the functionality is pretty interesting. It's an ERC20, it's a token that you buy, but once you reach over 1 unit, it mints you a NFT automatically. But once you sell under a whole, integer, basically, it will burn that NFT. So if I bought 1.2 of, gophers, it will mint me 1 NFT. But if I sold, let's say 0.5 and I have 1.2, I'll be under one whole number. It will burn it automatically. So it's pretty interesting. You guys can check them out. Okay. I'm also going to leave some useful links in the description. I feel like there's a Telegram that I will leave in the link that shows you the latest 404 tokens deployed. So keep that in mind. And at the same time, please feel free to join my Telegram, the Farmers Community, where I literally have covered, which we will get in a second, this 414 token, the new one, Zizik, whatever it is. Okay, there's some story behind it, you know what I mean? And I covered it in the group chat when this was $65. Yeah, in that green line. This is also where I bought in. Okay, the same time I'm buying in is literally the same time I'm sharing it to you guys in the Telegram group. Okay, this was literally sometime yesterday. So this is why you want to join as well. And yeah, that's basically it. Like, it's pretty interesting, and we'll get to that in a second. And I'll also share that link to the Telegram group that also has the latest deployments of 414. Keep in mind, you don't want to be investing in tokens from 414 that is a 666 supply. Okay, keep in mind this is a wide known rule. Okay, but some people don't realize that. Keep that in mind. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, gophers, not too bad. And obviously Teddy Bear, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely continuing on to break new heights. It's past the all-time high. It's on its way to reach 40 million. It's absolutely crazy. We're like 33x away from a billion, 33x away, which is really, really crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and the volume is absolutely crazy as well. This is not the main LP. So if we copy this and we paste it here, you can see the volume. For example, 679. You got 110k. Almost adds up to 1 million, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, it was absolutely crazy. And then you can see the Pulse today. It pumped, as I said, 5 to 10%. Everything else on the Richard ecosystem, all the Hex, Pulse X, INC as well is over $3, which is really great. And remember, INC's all-time high was $80 something, $80. You know what I mean? At $3 to $8, you can do the math. How many X's away is that? And even your friend Somi predicts that it could reach all the way to $150 per INC, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I have a small bag of INC, and we'll see. Time and wait. You know what I mean? I'd rather buy and wait than wait and buy, really. But moving on, you have Sunny, which I made a video on this. Super great investment, ladies and gentlemen. And not financial advice. I'm just talking about myself. I have it somewhere actually. It was a ecosystem. It's the rewarder ecosystem. I really like it, and I think it does. This is it. Yeah, I found it. This is the kind of tokens that he has been making. Some of them have even launched in the past couple of days, and obviously probably more to come. But every single one of them has a purpose. Obviously, those are all reflection token, taking advantage of those arbitrage bots. If you guys didn't know, there is arbitrage bots running around in Pulsechain, because Pulsechain is such a great platform. The arbitrage bots can be easily profitable due to the, very cheap prices. We're talking about, we can even actually show you guys. You can go stats. You can see gas fees right here. You can see that, it's 2,295x cheaper than Ethereum's gas fees. It's super crazy. And then it's 3,900x cheaper than Bitcoin's gas fees. You know what I mean? Pulsechain is such a great network, not because it's the most decentralized, Well, actually, it is actually because of that. As a great community, it's a great network for newcomers who are trying to learn, want to learn what's liquidity pool providing, and they want to play around with stuff. Absolutely, this is when, it's a great learning platform. It's a great investment platform, not financial advice, and it's also a great platform for DeFi and bots interactions. You know what I mean? Everyone wins from that. Volume is great for a network, which is really great. So yeah, there is arbitrage bots, and Sunny is absolutely taking advantage of that. Okay, one of my favorites. It's going to be the 414R. This one gives you reflections. Now I can't call them on the top of my head, but for example, DAI LP. This gives you a really nice LP, which is basically it reflects an liquidity pool token, which you guys already know. LP already is auto compounding because that's version 2 liquidity pool, and it's the LP of DAI, PDAI to EDAI on Pulsechain, okay, which is really crazy because you might feel like, okay, I'm only making like $1 a day or 50 cents a day, but if you really look at you don't look at the dollar value, you look at the value, the units of PDAI. That's basically me making like $50 a day when PDAI reaches $1 pegging, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that in mind. You have to think about it. That's the mindset you have to really think about it, especially with all the other ones as well. Like I think Miner is one of my favorites as well, because it gives you rewards in PWBTC, which is like what, a 300x away from, or 400x away from parity to actual Bitcoin's price, 40k plus. PWBTC is literally, where is it? It's right here. Is at $96. You know what I mean? It's at 400x away from 40k. It's crazy. Pulsechain is full of opportunities. So yeah, keep that in mind. And yeah, basically this is what he's talking about. You can see the kind of, this is the rewards. Like this is what I also have. It's kind of smart because he's like also putting a multi-token LP, which is pretty crazy. I didn't know this is possible. You can put like 2+ or 3+ tokens in one liquidity pool token, and this is what he did. Look at this: Pulse X, Pulse INC. I mean DAI and PDA. This is the one I was talking about with the DAI LP, and you got other ones like Center, Rewarder, pretty cool stuff. So do check that out. I'm gonna try to remember to keep that in the description. But literally look at a couple of videos back. I made it the Rewarder ecosystem. I think it's the next big thing for sure, because not a lot of them. They're literally in the 100k market cap. You guys already know, where can this go? I can see them all going above $1 million. Okay, no financial advice, but I just can see it. I can envision it. It's within the realm of possibility. Okay, but yeah, moving on. I think this is the part where I wanted to talk about, and I could do an interview with him, because I feel like everything is pumping. Okay, including Up and UpX. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like this is still an underplayed, underestimated token that can go, because the reason why is because this is a leverage play on Pulse. If you think Pulse will do a 10x, then I think Up and UpX will do a 10x of what Pulse does. So a 10x times a 10x is 100x. This is what I think it will do. Now, I think it is already pumping. They're both over 11 million. They're both, kind of within correlation of each other. They're reflecting each other. I believe UpX does a few extra things. I need to, again, research into this, really, but all I know, it's never late to be on the Up and UpX trend. You can see how, in the MACD, it's picking up, even though MACD is delayed, but this is such a great timing, because as I showed you guys, from the previous leg, you're only missing out by like a 3x, like, you know what I mean? Which is really, really great. This is what you want to see, is that, okay, or even like a 6.5x if you're really trying to think from early times. This is back in October. But that's the great thing. There's only been one leg up since the previous support level. Okay, which is really early. Like this is really, really early stuff. And I can see this reaching that 1 billion type market cap. Now, if you're going to tell me if it's Up or UpX, again, I can't really tell you which one to go into, but all I know is that they both are bullish. They both are utilizing stuff like the auto compounder with Power City, and I know they're using the vaults with liquid loans and stuff like that. Pretty smart stuff. Again, I think this is the leverage on Pulse, which is pretty bullish. Up and UpX, I might do an interview with them where they can actually explain it to me, and I understand there's a lot of content online to understand the technical details, because there's multiple wallets, there's multiple vaults, and there's like a benevolent wallet as well. Pretty interesting stuff, but sometimes it's great to so I might actually interview Haunted himself. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is my pick, where I'd say it's the underrated section for sure. Up and UpX. Okay, keep that in mind. Not financial advice, and it's such a great picture, by the way. Look at this. What a great picture. You can just tell they probably refined this picture so many times, because I know this is obviously AI generated, but this is such a great, good looking picture, honestly. But yeah, I might interview Haunted. Shout out to him because he follows me back as well. But yeah, moving on. Okay, this is one of my greatest points that I want to show you guys. Ethereum market is up today by 1.69%. Pulsechain market is up 13.5%. This is the perspective of you guys understand. Ethereum is mostly already established. It's super huge in liquidity, where it will take enormous amount of money compared to Pulsechain to pump it at 10%. But with Pulsechain, it takes way less because we're so small. We have so much more growth potential. Keep that in mind. Okay. So yeah, and as I said, I feel like honestly Pulsechain can earn that top 4 spot in the near future. Okay, I think it's gonna flip. Forget about Solana, forget about all the other ones. That's my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to see the description about Pulsechain. What got you into Pulsechain? Was it Hex, or was it through my videos somehow? I really want to hear your thoughts. Okay, and another reason, as I said, it's super cheap when you compare it from Ethereum to Pulsechain. We're talking about fractions of a penny, the cost of it. Like $1 is enough for me to do like 100, or even actually more than 100 transactions with just $1. Okay, so it's absolutely crazy. I just showed you guys, obviously. So yeah, this is a great tweet to just mention that to people. And then here it just talks about because Richard did make a tweet saying that the Pulse to Ethereum bridge will soon no longer be a 0% bridge fee. And I think that's a very smart move, because it'll create more FOMO. Okay, and which is crazy, because now you can look in the top right. That's the Telegram group chat I was talking about, the ATROPA new contracts Telegram. So link in the description into that, so you can see the latest deployments as soon as possible. This is automated, I'm going to assume. But remember, only invest in stuff that's non-666 supply, okay? You have to double check on that. I'm going to quickly show you guys how to check on it. But once you do that, you want to just go to in the token name, click on the Explorer, and then it'll show you in the supply section real quick. Let's see while that loads. Sometimes in the token supply, there we go. This one, okay? In the max total supply. Keep that in mind. And yeah, and that's kind of the last tweet that I really wanted to show, aside from moving on to the latest stuff. Really, I think the Pulse coin list is such a great website to look into. Also mentions the Pulse domains, which, by the way, I think there's like 9,000 plus entries, and I got my own domain as well, which link in the description. You can leave me a tip as well. I feel like it's really great, because then in the future, or actually even from now, when people want to send from one wallet to another, you can just type someone's .pulse name, as opposed to actually copying their wallet address and getting things wrong. You might copy someone else's address by mistake, but this one is going to be easy, because then you can just type, DJ Khaled.pulse. There you go. There's only going to be one of me. There's only going to be one DJ Khaled.pulse. You cannot find another one unless someone does DJ Khaled with an E instead of an I. Okay, but that's obviously something that you type in, that you've done now. But it's very easy for people, because I was easily able to find a wallet address that was that ends with 414. Doesn't mean I am 414. Dev, him or herself. That's why you want to keep it in mind. Don't just necessarily memorize the last 4 digits of the wallet address, because with enough time, it's always going to be collisions, with matching last 4 digits, and you never know which malicious person gives you that address of who you think you are sending it to. One of the final things I wanted to talk about is Sparkswap, and I think this will be definitely a video for it to make, guys. I feel like, first of all, the Sparklet is doing its thing. It's been yielding. I'm very happy with it. I got $28 there. Honestly, I might harvest and then restake it, because why not? Pretty cool stuff. And at the same time, they have a new section, which is the vaults, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, they partnered with DeFi Finance, or not partnership, but they got listed on Dex Finance, which is pretty cool. Again, I might do a whole video on this. And then you can actually right now, because it's boosted, you can make 1% daily ROI in the Spark plus USD US Dex, which I believe that's probably a what you call it? It's a stable coin. So it's a stable coin, and the beautiful thing is that once you click on open, you can actually just zap in, as opposed to you have to create the whole LP token. You can just zap in straight away. So you enter your pulse, and it will do the rest for you, and you're into it. So which is pretty cool stuff. Like again, I'm probably gonna make a video on this, but right now it's boosted, making 1%. So I wanted to just give you guys that, because sometimes people are holding things for the long term. It's doing nothing but collecting dust. So you might as well put it in a farm slash whatever you call it, a pool, and then you can now collect rewards as you're waiting for the bull run, which is really crazy. So yeah, keep that in mind. And yeah, it's pretty bullish. I'm probably gonna make a video on SparkSwap as well. I really like SparkSwap. I feel like it definitely earns its spot, because this is the ecosystem map. It earns its spot in the top 2 dexes of Pulsechain, because you have obviously the number 1 is PulseX. Nothing will ever overtop it, even though PulseX is kind of lacking. Like we need those farms, we need those pools back, new pools, new farms, any updates, you know what I mean? But top 2 is going to be SparkSwap. Okay, that's the only 2 that I'm really going to look at. I think PTs or whatever it's called, I think this doesn't really, I mean, I guess it does count, because this is an aggregator. It's not its own swap, but it's a really good place when PulseX is tripping up. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people are having issues with the IPFS websites and the mirror links. You want to go to PTs just in case, as a backup, for example. And it does work, because it's a PulseX aggregator, which is really great. And obviously you can scroll down and you can see all the hundreds of tokens in Pulsechain. It's pretty cool. Like the meme coin, where did the ETH go? Shout out to that. I'm holding a huge bag on that, to be honest. I think I'm in the top 20 or 30 holders in that, really holding it for the long term. It used to be on $3. I feel like it can go $100+. You know what I mean? That's just me. And yeah, NFT projects I'm holding like 20 or 30 NFTs in the staker class. Pretty cool stuff, really. So yeah, really sick stuff, honestly, that we have. Blockbend, really cool stuff as well. You can now go straight from Pulse to a disposable Visa / MasterCard, I believe, in Blockbend, which is really cool stuff. I believe it's I'm not sure if I think it's no KYC as well. So yeah, you guys can check that out as well. So a lot of things are happening in Pulsechain. I think this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like stuff like the ZK, ZX. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm gonna end the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh, actually, I didn't really cover this. But yeah, this is the Zizik, the thing I said, the new 414. This one, I think, ladies and gentlemen, only has a supply of 5,000, which most of it is held by the 414 dev, him or herself. Actually, no, not really. I think it's this one. I believe this is the LP. So yeah, the 414. There you go. F3. Remember, I made it. It's Formula 3 414. That's the true, token 414 wallet address. And then yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I'm holding, I think, around 8 tokens. Not that much, but I bought a decent bag at this point when it was at $65, and right now it's on its way to 200. Honestly, it would be pretty cool for this to reach like the $1,000. I actually don't have any ideas what's the vision, what's the milestones in this, but I'm just holding to find out. You know what I mean? I also shared with you guys a token, another 414 token called 2CC. That one kind of dropped down a lot, really, because I bought into this part 65 again, in that rough range, but it's been going down really. I'm not understanding the purpose of 2CC, but I know it's like Maria, the 414 dev, the alias, mentioned that it's bullish. So I'm honestly gonna hold it to moon or to dust. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you don't want to act too much, especially not selling on a loss as well. It's really pointless. It's really pointless to sell at a loss. Okay, so yeah, it's part of being a disciplined investor. Because now if I sold at a loss, it went a little bit more down, and then it went all the way up, and then now I'm gonna re-enter at this position. Imagine the loss, I've made. Because now what I could have done is maybe DCA when it goes more down, and then by the time it goes back up, to all-time high, I'm now averaged at a greater position. Or even, when it just goes back to uneven, because I DCA down here, I'm actually back at profit, which is good. This is how you need to think. Like, don't sell on the way down and don't buy on the way up. Okay, it's just, I've seen this a lot, and people lose a lot of money, and it's almost addictive to what people do. Is that they're always like in this, what's pumping today, because it's pumping, I'm gonna jump into it. But that's not the way to think about it. You want to think about what tokens are on the lows, what token is the most fearful. Okay, but obviously with great narrative, with good vision, with good technology, whatever, utility, whatever, community. You know what I mean? So yeah, keep that in mind. This is why honestly Up and UpX is my choice. Today's video of underrated for sure. And aside from that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you reached the end, thank you for watching. Go follow my Twitter, link in description. And yeah, feel free to join as a member. You can get access to my members only videos. Okay, some of the videos that I made recently have been absolutely pumping to the members only videos. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's tokens that I'm holding aside from Pulsechain. Okay, the ones I'm holding on Ethereum and BNB. Because as I told you guys, BNB and Ethereum will not go anywhere. They're the land of whales. Okay, Pulsechain is absolutely going to earn its spot next to those, two chains, along with Bitcoin, obviously. So yeah, keep that in mind, and I will catch you guys later. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and take care.